Hey, this is Doug Stanhope, and you are listening to Revolution of the Board podcast. Another one.
Shit, I'm going to jail. I done killed a white woman with my dick.
Revolution of the Board.
And welcome back, people.
There we go. Fucking episode 17 here. We have Kelli and... What's her name, dude? I keep forgetting. Danny. That's right. No, I'm just kidding. Danny and Kelli from Hypothetical Therapy. Check them out. I know I've been promoting them a lot on the Revolution of the Board Facebook page. But yeah, finally getting guests up in here.
Well, tell the fucking name of the podcast. Hypothetical Theory.
Therapy. Hypothetical Therapy. I just mentioned it. If you were paying attention like a big boy.
See, I was just checking the levels. God damn it. Oh, shit. I'm fired.
It's all right. It's all right. So, yeah, fuck. It was good to finally have you guys in the studio. I've been talking to Danny for like years since he was doing Mad Talk.
Yes, and we actually, podcast. I guess, as we mentioned, I think in the previous podcast, we had Danny on one of the podcasts, or he had us on his podcast, so we just shared it.
Yeah.
You guys were on my podcast at the time. That I was still doing it on like freaking Google Plus, and I was like, shit, the freaking bandwidth.
I know you were the one that introduced me to what was it, G.O.A.T?
No, you guys introduced me to that.
God of all Texas.
The freaking G.O.A.T song, right?
Yeah.
Can you quack? I forgot what the song was.
God,
we're over here.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that shit?
Yes, that shit.
That shit stayed in my fucking head.
I remember though. Because I played it on my podcast and YouTube was like, no, that is copyrighted and you can't use it. I'm like, oh God, forgive me for playing this godforsaken song.
How the fuck is God of all Texas copyrighted?
It's like, hey, you're not allowed to use this song. It is so glorious, you can't use it.
That redneck just thought, everyone's watching it, I need to copyright this shit now.
It's like, you're not allowed to use it.
He's got a Texas flag around his neck and he's wearing
Speedos.
a Speedo with a Texas flag or... USA Speedo, and he's just shaking his sack at the whole crowd. A drunken redneck, just in like a cut-off shirt, that probably listened to Godsmack, goes over and starts just
That's
exactly
what
he's like, walks away.
That's what he did.
I have never seen
with a
this.
beer in his hand.
I've never seen this.
We'll show that to you afterwards. Just remind us.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just remind us.
I need to see this.
That is like...
I just felt, how dare I play this without freaking paying
without
for
permission.
it. Fucking...
And YouTube's like, no, we need to make some fucking money off of this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, pay up.
Well, how many views did it get?
Oh, God.
Millions and millions. I'm pretty sure we
Yeah.
could look it up, and either they took the original down, or we're going to find one that has millions and millions.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's something we got to show you next time.
So we are going off on fucking tangents, but tell us a little bit about, again, about your podcast. I know this is your second one that you've done. Like
It's my second podcast. The first one was Mad Talk. That's kind of on a prolonged hiatus. Not really sure what the direction is. I mean, everybody's first podcast. I'm not sure if this is your guys' first podcast that actually like really launched. Okay, so you guys are lucky, but from what I hear is that most people's first podcast doesn't really succeed, but it gives you the knowledge and know-how and experience to do something even more successful. And so I don't want to call Mad Talk dead, but I know that my experience with it pretty much made Hypothetical Therapy the success that it is now. I mean, it's not freaking Adam Carolla show, but we're getting like constant views, we're getting constant questions.
At the same time, dude, we are going on what episode? Year 4,
episode 17,
barely episode 17, and we've gone on a hiatus for at least 6-7 months at one point.
I wouldn't so much call us successful. It's kind of like, have you ever heard of, like, say on one of those islands, like where the Japanese soldiers is stranded on an island during World War II, and he never hears that the war is over, and he's just there defending, like one man defending the island for the Japanese.
Yeah, so anytime...
That's the kind of mentality we have for this podcast.
Yeah,
we just
we
stick
still have
with it.
We still have episodes that barely have maybe 30 views max.
Yeah, we never got the memo that the war was over. We just fucking...
We've just never given up. We're too stubborn or dumb. Maybe the same.
I think that's the way it works, though, because I
Yeah.
hear that a lot. I hear that some people have actually have to go on about 5-6 years before anything even starts to come in, if even then. And so I think the consistency is really what keeps them more successful. And of course, you know, advertising it, telling you about your friends, and so on. But I mean, honestly, I knew about you guys. I heard about you guys even before Danny. Of course, I know me and all that. But I think it's still something that people listen to and look for. I just think it's, as long as you guys keep working as hard as you are, yeah, I don't think you need to worry about it. I think more people are listening than you think.
Cool. And now with hypothetical therapy, how did you get involved in that? And how did you, like, and Danny get together and decide to make this your own thing?
Well, I had started out with my own page on Facebook called Cotton Candy Babe. I didn't know my entire view that I wanted for this page to be. I had some ideas. I was like, okay, beauty, okay, advice, okay, this. And it's kind of still like that. It's kind of just all over the place. But I noticed that as far as the advice went, people were sending me anonymous questions in quite often. And they were liking the responses. And I think that's around the time Danny and I became friends. And he had mentioned to me that he wanted to do an advice podcast. And that he wanted my help with it because he had seen my success on my page helping other people. And actually, we used some of the questions from my page in our podcast as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
And Danny, I know you have kind of a background, like, psychologically.
Yeah.
Because that's what you study, right?
Psychology, and I've been doing a lot of research in, like, you know, drugs and everything, and I've been following Dr. Drew for freaking forever, and so he's kind of been my idol for addiction medicine. Like, I really want, every time I hear people, like, in their addictions and stuff like that, and freaking psychoses and stuff like that, it just freaking fascinates me so much.
You should have one of those bracelets, like, what would Jesus do? Like, what would Drew do?
What would Drew do? Oh shit, patent that, sell it. I'd probably be the only guy. I'd probably be the only guy, in, like, you know, a couple other teenage girls that think Dr. Drew is fucking hot.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or if gangsta people ask you, like, what's that? What would Dre do? Hell yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, I could play it off like that.
I think everybody would think it stood for Danny.
Danny?
I think everybody would think that's what it stood for.
Or like you're just promoting
Probably.
yourself.
Yeah, he's
Fucking-
Some kind of fucking filthy
Yeah,
cock.
yeah.
Oh god.
I probably would though. Jesus Christ.
If
People
somebody
that know
asked you, that's
me,
what you would- that's
people
what you
that know
tell
me is like, Danny's he's so narcissistic. He would probably fucking make a shirt with his fucking name on it, and I probably would.
I think I would do the same thing. I think the whole idea of having a show, like a podcast or a webcast or whatever, it's kind of it gravitates toward that kind of a personality, because I know I have that same thing going on.
I actually saw a thing this morning that said the top 10 the top 10 careers that attracts psychopaths, and number 4 was media and radio hosts. I was like, fuck, I fit right in there. But then the top 10 least careers that attract psychopaths was like therapists and doctors.
Oh,
so I'm
wow.
like,
So you're a happy
on the
medium, I
fucking-
guess?
Yeah, I guess that makes you a 3. I don't know. I'm
functional.
bad with the math.
That makes you a functional psychopath.
I guess, yeah, I'm a high functioning psychopath. I see myself doing that. Ask Kelly, like, we'll have discussions like just fucking dark shit, like.
Well, it's just like Bill Burr says, worst functioning psychos. I understand. I'm one.
Yeah.
I think that's what starts most podcasts, is just like what you said. You guys would have these dark discussions. I mean, I know me and Josh for the longest time, that's how we started. We were just friends in high school,
No, in
middle
middle school. We had dark thoughts back in 7th grade when we first met each other.
Yeah, and it was more than
Everybody
just that. It was
has
just the
some
fact that we
sick-
were conversing with each other about
Yeah.
these things, and we're like, shit, we should fucking write some of this shit down or record it or something. And then finally, Nomi was the one that gave us the idea to put it in a podcast. And
It's
it
a different
just took
Nomi.
off
It's
from
a friend of
Oh.
ours that went to high school
Okay.
with.
there.
Yeah, because the different Nomi that I met Kelly through is my cousin Naomi. And we call her Nomi.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, anyways, shit, one of those lulls.
One of those lulls.
God.
Hamsters. So hamsters, guys.
Oh, yes, we were talking a little bit about hamsters beforehand, and Kelly, I guess, hates them.
I do. I hate hamsters. That's
Is it
all-
like a
that's all.
phobia of hamsters, or?
I think, you know what? I think so. I won't
Yeah.
touch them. I like to look at them. I
Uh-huh.
won't touch them.
But do you feel like they're dirty, or they're like?
No, one bit me and
Oh.
grabbed onto my finger.
It grabbed onto her finger like a cartoon where you have to shake it
Yeah.
off,
I
and then
had to
maybe it
shake a
flats
hamster
off.
off my finger.
But speaking of Nomi and hamsters, they once had a gerbil called Starvin' Marvin.
fucking awesome.
And they would love to pick him up by the tail.
Oh my god!
Out of the cage because they were afraid to pick him up out of anywhere
Yeah.
else. Until one time, the end of his tail just slipped off, and he was running all over the house. And they're flipping out. I was over there with I was just visiting them, and then I put on gardening gloves. I'm the only man in the house because Uncle Javier is out working, and I finally get a hold of the gerbil. Its tail is sticking out. My Aunt Vera goes with a cotton swab of alcohol, just hits it really quick. He dicks his tail back in, and we just
Dicks his tail back
Yeah, he just ducks his tail back, dicks it, whatever the fuck. I turtled the shit. I don't give a fuck, man. It was intense. I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks about that because they're all screaming. There's little hamster gerbil tail blood on the tile.
How much of the tail came off?
I'd
just
say like less than half an inch.
So weird.
And yeah, until after I finally they dipped it with the alcohol, and I just put it back in the cage.
And brought out the hot glue and the craft.
I know, right?
And then I went back into the bathroom and masturbated.
Fuck. Yeah, those don't grow back.
And
I don't believe.
we were in grade school when I think that happened.
Oh my god.
And Nomi was
God
probably Christ, I don't even know how old. Actually, it was after South Park, so we were still in middle school or something. So maybe you guys were in middle or elementary.
South Park?
Yeah, South
Middle?
Park came out when
Elementary?
because I think
I
you
wouldn't
guys are
remember.
younger.
You mean South Park
Yeah.
the movie? Or...
The show.
The show.
When Starvin' Marvin came out,
Yeah.
you and I were maybe in 7th or 8th grade.
Right.
So I'm trying to think.
And that's
Oh, okay,
of
so
course
they
where
came-
the name came from.
Yeah, that's why they called the gerbil Starvin' Marvin, because Sarah was the biggest South Park fan.
That's right.
Mm.
So, I don't know. I don't remember when it came out. I never watched it when I was younger.
It was about 97, 98.
Oh, I was really little. Yeah, we
Yeah,
were little.
that's
Oh,
why
wow.
you and Nomi were really young.
I was like
Because Nomi's the youngest.
5.
I was over here thinking about like 2001, maybe. Like, shit, I didn't realize.
You were what?
Fuck.
I was like 5, probably.
Yeah, we were kids. What the fuck?
98?
In 97.
97, 98.
97.
I was like 13.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like 5 years old
I
for
remember
us.
when I first met Dave, that's when South Park came out. We were both over at Riverside Middle.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
wow.
Cool.
Mm.
Like
Hanging
South
out in the
Park
fucking
movies.
bleachers.
Yeah, right.
lunch. Sometimes we'd hang out in the bleachers and just talk shit.
Well, that's a
on
good
people.
fucking age because I remember when South Park barely came out, it was such a freaking stigma with my family. They're like, "Oh, you can't watch it. You can't watch it. You can't watch it." I was like, "Fuck, man."
Well, back then it was really controversial, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was just one of the biggest things. They would show it at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because it was not only that show itself and that movie, it's like, well, later the movie, but it was also the climate of the time because that was like right in the middle of the when Manson was so like
Yeah, Manson was
controversial.
relevant
and
because that's around the time I first got into him.
it was almost like a revamp of that PMRC thing
That-
of the 80s
The
where
whole
music
shock,
was evil.
the whole shock value of evil entertainment. That this is going to send you to hell. I was like, no, I don't think so.
And then
Because
fucking Columbine happens and all goes to shit, man. And got like 10
fucking
times worse.
Columbine. How dare they?
I was in 8th grade when that happened. I remember someone went up to me. I was at my locker. He's like, dude, you got any papes? No. Come on, man. It's 420. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, you dipshit? And then later in class, I hear, like, do you guys hear about the Trenchcoat Mafia? But I did appreciate Columbine, and I've been open about this, that after that, no one in 8th grade fucked with me. Because before that, they're like, what are you, little Manson faggot? You little bitch. You like to suck cocks, don't you? After Columbine, they don't even look at me.
Damn. Oh,
It's like,
shit.
that's right, you fucking asshole.
Like shit, he wears a trench coat. You're gonna fucking go.
No, it's
Shit.
because I would, even though we would have to wear uniforms. I would wear always, up until the summers, a dark long sleeve undershirt, just like it has some
Yeah.
kind of black
Yeah.
on me. And then I would wear the backpack where you put the little whiteout pen and you put all the band names on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I had nothing but like shock symbols and Manson written on the straps and everything. Of course, after that they
God
fucked
damn.
off.
So you had
Bitches.
to wear a uniform there at Riverside?
Eastwood, no,
At Riverside Middle? Yeah.
well, Riverside Middle we wore that, but then after my 8th grade year we moved up to the east side and I went to Eastwood Middle.
Yeah, Riverside Middle was just like either a T-shirt with the school name on it or a polo shirt. We just had to.
Yeah, and then slacks.
I had to wear a uniform my entire life from 1st grade to 12th grade. Because I went to a private school.
Oh, right.
That's why.
And it was like, it wasn't just...
Wait. Did you wear like the nice little skirt?
No, let me tell you this. I wish I got to dress that cute. These skirts were down to our fucking ankles. Okay?
You're dressed like a nun?
Yeah,
shit.
I practically we had little polo
Oh,
shirts with these like
shit.
navy blue skirts to our ankles. And I remember one time, they had to be below the knee, but really the only ones that they sold that were below the knee were long. And I remember one time I tried to get away with one that was like right at my knee, and of course I got in trouble. I was always breaking the dress code because I hated those skirts. I hated the whole thing. I mean, 12 years of doing it. I had to like find ways. I would wear like my belt like out of the loops, and it was like a stupid like band belt, and it was like way too big for me. I got in trouble for that. I would wear flannel shirts over my uniform. I got in trouble for that. I mean, I tried everything I could to just get away from it for just a minute.
No, but people need religion and strict rules when they're being raised.
For those of you listening at home, Josh is licking his lips while she's describing this.
Tell me more, Daddy.
He's like,
needs
so you
to
still
know.
have that skirt?
I bet that long skirt's now raised up.
No, it was just kind of one of those things. Like, what are we going to look at our shins? You
Yeah.
don't want to see your shin?
That's awful.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of that Muslim culture. Is any inch of flesh, you get a stone in the face.
Yeah, it was bad.
Christ.
I got in trouble all the time for dress code. If I wore black nail polish, I got in trouble.
Yeah.
If I wore dark makeup, I got in trouble.
So did I, Nate. Honestly, one day did show up with like kind of black makeup, and they sent me to the office to wash it off. Just because I wanted to go kind of gothish more.
How dare
Now
they?
everyone's staring at me.
How
God
dare they?
damn it.
Figured
Yeah.
you'd have been used to it from all that shit in high school.
Yeah, without the name calling, I guess.
I've always skipped on the freaking uniforms by a year. So like, I would go through elementary school, and then the year that I would get out of elementary school, the fuckers before me had to wear uniforms. It's like, you fucking bitches. And I would like graduate from middle school, and then the fuckers before me would have to get fucking uniforms.
I was in a weird transition where that happened at
Yeah.
Eastwood High School, where my freshman year, we actually had to wear our IDs around our necks.
Oh, I've seen that. I think they
I was
still
in the
do.
middle of that transition. I
In
was
high
like,
school, we had to do that. At Riverside, we had all 4 years. We had to have a
All
fucking,
4?
Yeah.
Over at Eastwood High School, we only had to have it 1 year. And I think they got in trouble because maybe people were fucking around with it. I knew a guy that would take... It's a little, like, nice little ball chain that you kind of, like, wear. It's a really thin one. One of my buddies in my freshman year, he would snort it through his nose and go... and go like that.
oh shit.
He would just kind of floss through his nostril and the back of his throat with that during class.
Oh,
and we'd all be like, fuck yeah.
You remember?
And then
Oh shit.
all the chicks would be screaming, ew. And of course the teacher's like, what are you doing? Oh my God.
where did he put it when he wasn't doing that?
Around his neck.
Oh my god!
Hey, we're freshmen in high school. We didn't give a shit about hygiene.
This was right after PE when he's got that thing like just covered in sweat.
It's all
and
sweady.
fucking-
Well,
And
fuck.
5 years
dirt.
later, he had throat cancer.
Yeah.
He died of
Now he
throat
talks
cancer.
like this. How you doing, Toots?
Well, a year ago, we saw all those girls doing that with fucking condoms. Remember? They would like snort it through their nose, and they would
Oh,
like,
that's
and then,
right.
like,
Yeah.
they'd bring it out their
But
their
also,
throat.
I've seen that years before. I saw that
The condom
online
challenge?
back in 2008, maybe. I saw a guy do a freak show where he did that with a long clown balloon, and he was able
Oh.
to push the air
Oh,
through
yeah.
back and forth. And the chick that was
Whoa.
helping him had to run to the bathroom and throw up because it freaked her out that
Oh my
much.
god.
If I was on stage, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Look at this
I would've
fuck.
been just-
Holy shit.
Just giving that silent nod of approval, like fuck yeah.
Yeah,
That'll do,
this is
pig.
a savage right here.
Yeah.
But anyways, so what about what's
Another-
going on in the news?
Really
Anything that's
silence.
been of interest with you guys that's been going on
Yeah.
lately?
In the news?
Or just going on in society, in your local area, maybe personal life if you want to get into it. Just because, yeah, my
Like-
life's been pretty boring.
Well, like, what is it about the, like, I guess the cultural climate now that kind of generates the need for a show like Hypothetical Therapy?
Yeah, that probably works better than
You're
my
good.
questions.
Oh, that's
You're
a
good.
great question. That really is. I think a lot of it is just because of the way that everybody is so attached to the internet, attached to being anonymous, attached to all of this.
I think the whole anonymous stigma is like
I think that's what they like about it.
They love it.
And also...
Freaking... 4chan?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like the one that started it all. With
Yeah,
anonymous.
4chan and Anon. As of course Dave and I have gone over multiple times in a podcast. We love those guys. Definitely appreciate them.
Oh, yeah.
And I think another thing that the people like is kind of like, you know, everybody likes their 5 seconds of fame.
Right.
You know what I mean? They get posted
Even if
up
it is
on-
anonymous.
Even if it's totally anonymous, they love it. They're like, they want to hear their words spoken out loud or see it on my Facebook
Their
page.
problems.
And that's why people, I think they kind of like that. They kind of like that little attention that they're getting.
Or even to be retweeted multiple times.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, whether it's good or bad attention, because sometimes it'll go both ways on my page.
Yeah, sometimes, well, with the show, sometimes they'll ask a question like how come my boyfriend won't delete the girls that
delete his
exes, and then we'll just be like, you're being childish, like, what the fuck, get over it, you know, like, you gotta trust him. And I'm pretty sure that they were thinking
we were gonna be on their side.
Yeah, that they would be on their side just because they asked the question, but in reality, no, you're being a little cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what a lot of people do. I've gone through that too, where I've had someone ask me, you have a lot of female friends on your friends list, don't you?
That girl
Like,
is
well,
too pretty to be your friend or something like that.
What did this comment mean? Well, if I wanted her, I wouldn't be with you. So, yeah. Let's leave that
they
there.
don't really
But of course
understand.
that doesn't work. Logic doesn't fucking work.
No.
No, and I think that's what it is too. Just I don't know. The people, they like that. They like that little attention that they get, and then they like the drama.
Yes.
People love it. They're attracted to chaos.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
really,
the same
really
way
are.
that I've known so many people, they love those stupid gossip sites. Or as we talked before, I think the previous podcast, everyone goes on, we're victims of clickbait. Where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
who talked shit to what celebrity last week? And you're thinking,
It's like, how sensational can you
yeah,
make
you're thinking
a-
like, I
the
don't
most
know,
benign-
fuck it, I'll click it, I'm bored.
Clickbait has gotten so fucking big within the last year. It sickens me. It's so fucking disgusting.
That's half of my fucking Facebook feed.
I
And
know,
it's so
now it
transparent
is.
too, because like you can see what they're doing. You can see how they're trying to lure you
Yeah,
in. You
and
know
what-
it's gonna be stupid, but you
What
click it
really
anyway.
angers me is when they fucking use a science to describe something that is fucking stupid. Like, psychology says that if you're
80%
angry...
of women love if you do this. This can
Yeah,
make you
or-
not be single or some
Did you
shit
know
like
that in psychology, when you're mad, she... Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Or
fucking
like,
went blank right there. I was like, fuck. But
Miracle
it's just...
foods you could buy at the grocery store that cure cancer. It's like,
Yeah.
if that would work, it'd be everywhere on the news, not just
Yeah.
this clickbait site.
Exactly, and that's exactly how I see it. Because that's what you see. You're like, okay, if this is real, how come I don't see it everywhere? How come I'm not like seeing this like on the actual news? And I think that's what. Lewis...
Why don't people understand that, though?
No, because I don't.
It's
okay,
like, it's truth when
it
it's on
blows
Facebook.
blows my mind.
The attention span. It is just, I see this really quick. Oh, something
Oh,
shiny.
and then when they
Yeah,
share
yeah.
it, I see very intelligent people share this kind of shit, and they're like, "Oh, vaccines are horrible. Let's not ever get vaccines." And I'm like, off of like a clickbait site.
Yes, or off of
I'm like,
because Jenny
"Oh,
McCarthy said
fuck Jenny
it's
McCarthy."
gonna fuck your kids up. Dumb cunt.
You guys are intelligent. You guys went to school for years and years and years. You guys
because
have bachelor's
doctors don't know
degrees.
shit. But some bimbo that showed her tits in Playboy was on MTV. She knows what's
It
best for your
fucking
kids.
blows my mind. It
Yeah,
blows my
meanwhile, their
mind.
fucking Ebola-ridden kids are walking around Disneyland infecting the rest of it.
Yep.
I know.
It's like,
Son of a bitch.
Everyone has AIDS.
God damn. Exactly.
yeah. So I guess then, like, because of that culture of like, there's so much information out there, and so much of it is sensationalized. You don't know what to take at face value. So along comes like a show like your guys, where you're trying to have a frank discussion about it, something that's
Yes, and actually
straightforward,
something that's logical.
something that's not bullshit,
Yeah.
something that actually like attacks, or not attacks, but tackles the questions that people have. And like, how do you guys take that and present it without, and have it compete with all this sensationalized bullshit that's around?
I mean, I guess sometimes I feel like all we're talking is a lot of common sense, and sometimes I feel like this is so simple. Why don't they see this? I don't understand. I mean, it really blows my mind. I don't understand how some people. This sounds so narcissistic, but I feel like I feel so much more intelligent than a lot of times because we get these questions, and I'm like, do you really not know the solution? Do you really not know how to help yourself just a little bit here? I don't know. It just, I think the people see it and they're like, oh, well, I need help, and I want my name out there, or at least my question, or I want this, and I want my little bit of attention, and I think it's mostly, I honestly think a lot of it is about the attention. Yeah. Some people do seem really genuine.
Yes, well, I think they want to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But some of them do seem more genuine than others. I mean, I've gotten long questions. I've gotten like 3-paragraph long questions. This person seems like they're really like in a weird situation, and I've also gotten really stupid ones. Like, what's a stupid one we've gotten on the?
Oh, what the fucking? How long does Reg stay in your system compared to Kush?
Oh yeah, you guys actually fielded that one on one episode.
I hate stoners. I despise stoners so fucking much.
My God.
That's such a catch-22 because I love weed, but I hate stoners.
If you're a functional stoner, you're awesome. That's cool.
Yes.
But that's all
you're just like 420, man.
Holy shit.
Put a bullet in your pipe and then light the fuse, bitch. Eat a dick. I hope you fucking die of cancer. I hate stoners like that with a fucking passion.
Son of a bitch, yes.
No, but it really does go both ways. And then we've gotten some troll questions too. So
oh my God, like half of them are fucking troll questions.
We get a lot of troll. We don't answer them. We don't even bring them up because
like I bet Danny's dick.
Help.
Well, even if you get like a shitload of troll questions, at least people are responding. I mean, there's somebody that's responding to something that you're putting out there.
I honestly think it's just like
one person.
One person.
I
think it's
we
one
both think
person.
We know who it is.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah. It's like, somebody that's followed both of us for like a year or two. We both kind of just look at Jaws like.
But honestly, though, his would be way more interesting.
It would be more interesting. That's the thing, though.
If you're gonna, you guys, it'd be a lot funnier.
Yeah, if you're gonna troll us, we would probably be more inclined to mention it on the show if it was actually funny, not
I think there was one that said, "Danny, you're hot," and Kelly, you're okay too, or something like that.
It's just so fucking stupid. Like, do you really think that we're gonna say that on the air? Like, it's not worth our time. And like, I bet Danny has a big cock or something like that. It's just, okay.
You typed that one yourself.
Yes. Imagine. Oh shit. I just wanted Kelly to see it.
You know what?
Sorry.
And if we did put that on the show, that's exactly what people would be saying.
Right? Oh my God.
No, I don't know. I think a lot of people are drawn to it. So, like, he probably interacts with the people that listen a lot more than I do. But I have a couple friends who really like it and just enjoy listening to it. My friend Corey, she thinks it's really funny.
Yeah, there's been a lot of questions that you guys that are actually really good questions. Like, I know you've talked a lot of relationship stuff.
Yeah, that's what we get the most.
I know Danny, you're really passionate about squirting.
Squirting, yes. Oh my God.
We went into squirting for a really long time.
There was a question. You actually sent in the link that we were going to discuss on the next show. But my God, I got into a debate with one of my friends the other day. Like, squirting isn't real. I read the article. Squirting isn't real. It's all pee. And I'm like, no, stop. Because with some girls, there is a tissue actually that is the same material as like the prostate. And so this could actually be in some women larger than others. Therefore, it could excrete what would you call it? It's like an
ejaculate.
It's like an ejaculate, similar to semen, but it's not. Just because it's like it's the same type of tissue and stuff like that. And sometimes it's a combination of both, which I believe it's called female orgasmic incontinence.
Yeah, you heard that with Drew.
Yeah, I follow that a lot. Fuck
that's
yeah, yo, yeah, seriously. But I mean, and so it's sometimes a combination of both. And some girls can't hold their piss in while they're having sex, and I mean that's cool. I mean, I'm a savage. I'm down with that. But I mean, if a girl's like squirted on me, quote unquote, squirted on me. And if it was actually piss, I wouldn't really ask many questions. I mean, I'm fucking doing the deed right then and there. I'm not going to ask too many questions. I'm going to be like, hold on here. Let me run this out to the lab. Make sure that this isn't piss. Make sure this is organic squirt before I go down there.
Test and be like, you need a little more calcium in your diet.
More calcium, yeah.
Just bring out some little
a little test strip, yeah.
Just dipping it.
Like, a litmus test.
Fuck. This isn't
we were
squirt at all.
talking about squirting a lot for a long time on that one too. I remember, and then
Yeah.
choking out. Somebody asked about choking out
Oh
recently
yeah,
too.
Well, that was you.
that
Was it
me,
you?
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
Dave.
we were talking about that one for a while too. But
Yeah.
I don't know, squirting and choking out.
Do you like getting choked out?
Do I like getting choked out? No, but I know a lot of people who do.
Have you tried it?
You mean like with a belt? No, actually I haven't. I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to it. Just
Yeah.
it never occurred to me to try it on myself.
Have you
'Cause I-
ever had a girl that was like, "Let me choke you out"?
No, actually.
I've never had it done to me or been asked to do it.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
I've been asked to do it, and like I enjoy being the one who does it because I do like to take. I mean, I do go like. I'm kind of flexible when it comes to dominance or submission, but I tend to be more dominant in bed, and you know I usually do enjoy when they ask me like, hey, you know, choke me out a little bit.
I have had a girlfriend with the rape fantasy though.
With a rape fantasy? Oh
Yeah.
shit!
That's
How-
really
how-
common.
How did that go?
Maybe I am too much of a nice guy. Where like halfway through it, I'm just like,
You feel
just
bad.
like she's begging me to stop, and I'm like, I almost feel bad. I'm like, "Oh, sure, are you sure?" She's like, "No, keep going." I'm like, "Okay, sorry."
Damn.
And then I get back into character.
I have never
You've
been
never had
asked.
that?
I've
Oh.
never been asked to like rape somebody, but I have heard of somebody that's like, yeah,
Well,
I
it's
don't know,
not
I have
asked
a
to
rape
rape,
fantasy.
but it's just acting like you're forcing
forcing
it.
it.
Like,
Yeah, you're
I'm-
forcing
Yeah,
it.
and even with the choking, it's not choking to the point of unconsciousness. It's just kind of like either applying pressure, being like a firm grip on the neck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
that's
also
the kind of
heard-
experiences that I've had. But I've actually had a friend, like I said on our show, that actually like freaking had her pass out, and he started freaking out. And I'm pretty sure he lost his boner like that.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
oh
he thought,
shit! I
"Oh,
fucking
shit,
killed her.
Well, if
Fuck.
he didn't, I don't think you should have him as a friend. He's like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit, I
right.
think I killed her."
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Shit.
It's like
Yeah,
your
you're
Family
right.
Guy. Oh man, I'm gonna be a virgin forever. Or am I? Keeps going.
Yeah, I think
That's
the
perfect.
thing that a lot of people don't get though is that the choking out isn't actual choking.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it leads to unconsciousness, even death, and it's pretty dangerous.
Go all David Carradine on you, you know.
Because I've heard about that, or chicks that didn't know they were kind of into it. Someone I knew had said that a guy started doing that to her, and she kind of freaked out at first, and then right away she was like,
Hey.
See that? I can totally see that.
Right.
I can totally see that
"All
being
right."
attractive.
Give me that quagmire. Let me see if he says something behind you. If he says something.
Oh shit!
That's fucking awesome.
Fuck.
Oh,
That's perfect.
cool.
That was
awesome.
perfect.
Does he say more than one thing?
Fuck yeah. There's a Pope shit in the woods.
So aside from like the trolling part, what other like odd questions or requests have you guys had from the show?
We actually had one that I actually had to do a lot of research on, which was that, I mean, we'll get to eventually, but it was something like if I were to be on LSD, would I be able to sleep, or would my vivid dreaming be even more of effective, I think. And from my research, I actually saw that not many people sleep on LSD. No, so I couldn't really get a good answer to that.
Can you fall asleep on LSD?
That's the kind of the stuff that I was looking for. I'm like,
Is it
okay,
like affecting their circadian rhythm, or does it just keep them up like cocaine? Or?
Do they question that if they're asleep or not, so the body doesn't know if they're asleep?
that's what I think. Yeah,
Like maybe they could slip into sleep and yet their mind is still racing with the drug that
exactly.
they're
You're
still in a trip.
You're still fucking
because
on the trip.
it's pretty
you're
much
still
like you're in a
visually.
dream slipping into a dream, so you're just inceptioning that shit and you don't know where the fuck you are.
Yeah, and so I think that not many people, and especially even if there were tests done, LSD on sleep, would it be?
How could you monitor that? Because
How can you monitor
when
that?
would-
Exactly.
How would the person know when the trip stopped and the dream began?
And how would they know to
During-
report it afterwards?
Unless they do that kind of weird sleep stuff where they hook shit up like in Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
and they see if there's a shift
Yeah.
in maybe their respiratory system, like maybe the monitoring where when you get into REM sleep, how your body
Yeah.
kind of shuts down a little bit. Maybe that's the only.
Or maybe it
reason
doesn't
why.
shut down. Maybe your body can. But I
because
don't
the
know.
brain's
That-
functioning that much.
Yeah, but that's just one question that I kind of threw me off, and like actually made me do a lot more research, and I never really
That's a good one. I'm excited to answer
yeah,
that.
I never really found it. I mean, I still want to do more research before I answer
Yeah.
because I want to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be the same as like I said with cocaine, where you're just
Yeah.
like fucking
Cocaine,
hyper,
you just fucking
hyper
You're just
aware of the way
shit.
you stay up all night editing Revolution of the Board podcasts. And
3 days straight. Oh my god. Living the
That's why
dream.
it takes so long for the podcast to come out, doesn't it, Dave? God damn it.
editing's a little jittery.
I
Right?
know your mouse is just like, I'll do the cut here. No!
We do get a lot of drug questions, actually, though, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
There was one about somebody asking if it's a personal choice or morally wrong to be under the influence of drugs while having sex.
Having sex.
Well, maybe it depends on both parties.
Yeah, I
But-
think we basically said you both need to know that it's happening and both need to be
Yeah.
okay with it, I think.
Yeah. And I have a question. Do most of the questions come locally or globally?
We have no idea.
I would guess locally because it's all from a private link. So they just click it from our Facebook page, and then they set it in through there. So
Well, I think I've invited some people that don't live
oh yeah,
here too. Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I've
yeah.
invited. There's no way to tell, like, based on in the actual link.
Like the
yeah, you're
hits?
right. You're
There's
definitely
there's
right.
nothing. The only thing that shows up is the question.
I've heard
and the time,
reports-
I think.
I've heard reports of Mad Talk being played on car dealership speakers
Really?
in Phoenix, and I was like, wow, my voice has been on a freaking speaker system at a car dealership. Like that's
Wow.
so trippy.
That
So,
is.
And then I think all the questions that I usually get, because I have my link as well, just for my Facebook page, and I think those ones a lot of the times do come locally, because a lot of the people on my page are pretty local. For the most part, I don't know. I can't tell either. It's on the Ask FM.
Yeah, you can't even tell if it's people you know or...
No, you can't
anything.
tell anything. The time it was sent, and that's probably about it.
Wow.
You can
Yeah.
maybe tell by the way they type, if you know them.
And I realize you guys are still pretty new, but like, what's the next step for you guys? Where are you going to take your podcast? Are you going to start having guests? Are you going to take it to other mediums?
I've actually been thinking about having some guests that actually specialize in some stuff like this, like someone that would have a better understanding of drugs than I do, like recreationally.
Somebody that squirts like a fucking savage.
Somebody that squirts like a fucking savage. I want to freaking take some notes,
you can
for
put out a
science.
candle from
Everything
20
for
feet away.
science. I want to
God.
get down to business with this whole
Antonio
squirt
Bandana
business.
style, just whap.
I need to get down to business with the squirt. Yeah, I need to find out. It's like Bigfoot.
Maybe
Well, what
if-
what is this?
It'd be interesting if, for some of the sexual questions, I don't know if anyone that works in a sex shop that's been working there for a long time would be able to answer anything, but it would be kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I would really like to talk to. I love listening to sex experts talk.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's so interesting because they go way deeper than you can even imagine that it really goes. Pun not intended. But,
I was
but
looking
it
back.
totally,
Yeah,
but
same
it
here.
totally goes.
Everybody was just like...
Even I was like inside my head, like, don't do it.
Well,
I guess we have
puns are always
a stronger
intended.
will, which is very surprising because I have a short...
Oh shit!
Slip.
You had a
Give
fucking.
a shit. I know I'm not big.
But I know I mentioned this to Danny earlier off air, but Kelly, have you heard of like the Sex Nerd Sandra podcast?
No,
that's
I've
how-
heard about her.
great.
She was on Carolla once, I think.
Was she?
And I think
Was
she
she?
might have been with Allison.
I think you guys would. I think you would enjoy that
Yeah.
that podcast because she's an actual sex educator. She works in the Pleasure Chest, this like sex toy shop.
Oh, how
I
cool.
think in LA. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure.
think I'll have to look at it.
Most
Also-
likely in LA.
and also, there's a show on Showtime, I think, called Masters of Sex. Have you guys heard of that?
Really? No.
That one's
I haven't.
about what is it? Basically, these two pre-Kinsey doctors who essentially the first to study human sexuality. They actually invited people during the 50s into their laboratory, hooked up all kinds of equipment to them, and studied them while they were having sex. And they ended up partaking in the study themselves. It's a
Yeah,
really good show.
I've
They're
actually.
in there,
I
like-
think I've heard about that study going on.
Yeah, Masters in
sounds familiar.
Virginia Johnson.
Yeah.
I forget
Yes. The Johnsons. Yeah.
You're gonna have to remind me what all of this stuff is so I can look at it.
Yeah, I'll tell
Yeah.
you. It's been a while since I read my sex ed book, but
yeah,
that was in
it's
there.
a really good show. I think they're about to start their 3rd season later
shit.
this year.
Did you actually take sex ed in like high school or junior high?
no.
I never got to class.
That
I actually
never-
had to go with my girlfriend. I skipped a class, and it was shown during PE just for one day.
Yeah.
And it showed you stuff like the cauliflower dick and then a condom going over a guy's arm.
Oh, you know
our
what?
sex ed
Things like
was
that.
our sex ed was like one class period during health.
Yeah, it was very primitive. It's
Yeah, it
pretty much
was
just
health.
one day. It's just, here's all you need to know really quick, and that's it.
I think we actually watched The Miracle of Life, that fucking show that
yeah?
that video that they show every kid.
I actually have never seen that video.
It's
Till this
No,
day.
I don't think I have either.
Till this day, I
I don't
don't
think
know
I've
what
ever
it.
seen that either.
the big thing about it was that it shows a live childbirth, and
Only videos I remember seeing that stuck in my mind were those, was it completely off tangent, Red Pavement kind of films that showing that driver's ed.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah.
that because I always remember those awful videos too. I'm just like, why are you
Here's
showing
a scene
it?
after an accident. Brains.
Brains. Yes.
Oh,
Did you see
yeah,
those?
yes,
Do you remember that?
yes,
And they're like,
yes,
if you
yes.
guys if you guys feel like you can't watch this, you can walk out of the room.
And plus, this was before the texting age. Imagine how much film they got now.
Oh yeah.
All that Twitter media
I mean, those
bullshit.
videos were already really behind even then when I watched
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they look
Yeah,
like
they were.
Faces of Death. That quality.
Oh, Faces
like
of Death.
Like the Faces of Death videos have that same quality that the picture film that had like the cauliflower dick, and it was before the blue waffle, where they showed like an infected vagina. That only time I kind of skipped class and saw that sex ed like PowerPoint presentation because it wasn't even a fucking video.
yeah, it used to be that you actually had to seek out like the really gory shit or the really extreme shit. I mean, hell, even just before I left the house to come here, I remember I was just scrolling through my Facebook feed and I saw some dude getting beheaded, and like,
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's
I've
like
always
nothing.
heard that ever since middle school, actually, that you know, people fucking stomping on dogs and like just truly brutal shit.
I've seen those pictures of someone with high heels. Multiple pictures. It was fucked up, stomping to death, like slowly. The video too, a kitten and a puppy.
And I've
It
never,
was one of the
thank
most-
God,
it's
I've
still
never,
kind of haunting.
I've never fucking seen that shit on my Facebook. But you just said that you saw a beheading. I'm like, holy shit, is that even still allowed?
It was on Facebook. I saw this off like this weird website that would have really funny memes,
Yeah,
and then they'd have sick
that's
videos like that.
sick. You're over here having a good time.
Yes, I'm laughing because like this
You're in
joke
your-
is so racist. Oh my god, she's stomping a puppy to death.
that is
Oh, there
so
goes its
fucked-
eyeball. Oh fuck.
That's so fucked up to your psyche.
Yeah,
Jesus
it was
Christ.
just going like la la. Like I wonder where that's bipolarity comes from because of the
Probably.
internet. Because like I'm so happy it's YouTube, and then death, and then they just have that long on the 1,000-yard stare, and then they scroll down. That's kind of funny. That video still fucked me up.
But you
Yeah,
never forget it.
Yeah, you
No,
that's why
remember it.
I
Fuck
still
no,
remember how it kind
yeah.
of makes me feel. I almost all the hairs are almost raised up because I still remember seeing that fucked up video. Quit staring at my no. Gotta paint it.
That's hilarious.
But
I see a lot of fucked up shit on Reddit now.
I've
this
never gone on Reddit.
Really? There's everything you can imagine.
yeah.
You know, fucking. I recently subscribed to T-Girls. I'm like, just fucking.
I don't know what that means, man.
Ladyboys,
Transgender women.
Oh.
transgendered women. And
Call
I'm just
back to
like,
the last
I'm just
episode.
so fascinated. Like, Jesus Christ, you have such big boobs, such a magnificent, perfect face, perfect body, like a big old dick. Like, it throws me. It just,
They don't all have dicks though. A lot of
no,
them-
I understand, but I mean, T-girls do, right?
No.
They're
Transgender women, they do get the surgeries.
No, I
Are
understand
you
that.
thinking of like transvestites or transgender? Isn't there a difference?
Are there certain
She-males.
stages of
I don't
transgender
know.
though? Because
Oh no,
There
it's
is-
drag queens
there
and
is.
then transgenders are totally different.
No,
I
drag
think
queens are just
drag
guys,
queens
right?
are maybe transvestites because I think that's like Eddie Izzard, who's an amazing comic.
Yeah.
it's a transvestite.
He's a
Because vest is
transvestite.
That's a
in-
transvestite.
Yeah, because I think that's what he calls himself on stage, and that's just. But he's an action transvestite. Oh,
But-
running, jumping, tripping in trees, putting on makeup.
But what I'm saying is, like, in the process of becoming a transgender person, you don't do it all at once. So,
No.
like, are you not a complete transgender person until you've had the surgery on your genitals, or does it start when you...
I think it also depends on if it's operational or slowly. Like, I remember there's a guy that I knew at shows that started taking pills, estrogen pills. He started growing breasts and looking more and more feminine, even though he kind of already did.
Yeah.
And last I heard of him, I don't know. He might have still had a dick.
Are you guys familiar with Buck Angel?
Oh yeah, Buck
Man with
Angel.
Pussy?
It's my homie.
Yeah, that was...
We go way back.
I first heard of him actually from, I think a friend showed me a picture of him, and then he did a guest spot on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just
that
like...
threw me the fuck off, because I've always seen girls, you know... fuck, this could get so confusing.
Yeah, the terminology is just very confusing, so please don't... Well, fuck you if you get offended, you know?
We're not doing it out of hate, okay?
Exactly.
or making fun of.
It's how you mean, but I've always seen the females with the big breasts and, you know, in whatever the dicks. And to see Buck Angel, like the freaking masculine fucking shoulders, traps, beard and everything else, but like with a vagina, it just threw me off. I'm like, I've never seen this before, but it's still kind of the same thing. It's a transgendered man, right?
Yeah. For anybody at home that hasn't seen him, basically either Google it or just picture like a very fit, very muscular man, everything like looking perfect physically except has a vagina, like a fully functioning vagina.
Like Lou Ferrigno with the lady parts.
Yeah, and this is a person who was born female and went through the whole process to become male. You know, through hormone therapy and surgery.
Getting the surgery or the bottom surgery.
Yeah, without getting the
penis turned into a vagina.
And to answer the question you had before of when they actually become a transgender person, when they actually become the sex that they want to be, a lot of them feel that they are that sex the moment they accept that that's
Gender
what they
identity.
are. It's not about the physical for them, whether they have a dick or a vagina or whatever. I think it's a very psychological thing. No matter what, some of them don't get the change and they still completely consider themselves a transgender woman even though they were born male.
There's a really good documentary on Netflix about Buck Angel. I forget what it's called. I think it's called Mr. Angel or something like that. But it's really good. I recommend seeing it. But like, even he at one point admits that he didn't want to get the surgery because the technology wasn't up to par just yet. But he also mentions later on in the documentary that he's perfectly happy with his vagina, just having a vagina. Like, he doesn't really want to change it. So there's kind of that weird dichotomy. But I think it's basically, it does boil down to what he identifies as, you know, emotionally and mentally. And that's where the language gets trippy, because, like, that's what causes offense when you refer to somebody by the wrong pronoun.
Yeah. I mean, there's transgendered women, there's T-girls, there's ladyboys, there's she-males, but I mean, apparently those are all wrong.
No, transgender is the actual
transgendered
politically
women?
correct term.
Transgender.
Yeah.
Or is that just what they've decided on at the moment?
That might be it.
Yeah,
but that's the only one that I've never seen them get offended
You know, like
about.
blacks, African Americans, colored.
That's the only one that they don't get angry at, I guess, is the way I can
But then again, it could probably change in time. It always changes.
It's very fluid. It's constantly changing, and plus, I think people tend to focus on it too much. They focus too much on language rather than the actual
People
intent
give
of the
words
person
way too much power, and then we get angry about it.
Just because they let that give definition to their existence, and that's what gets them upset when really that word describes you as a person. If that's all it takes, then fuck you as a person.
Fuck you as a person, exactly.
If that describes you in one word, and it offends you because you think, oh shit, I don't give a fuck. I've been called so many fucking names throughout my goddamn life, even by this fucker.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
And especially when the person doesn't mean harm, it's when
it's how you mean it.
You know, they
like,
say, well, this transvestite person, and then they get offended. Yeah. And they're honestly, the person who said that didn't mean harm. A lot of the times they're curious and they're not knowledgeable on it. And they still get offended, and I'm just over here like, well, teach them, be nice.
Of course, when you get nervous trying to bring up something you don't know about, sometimes you bring up the wrong words. It'd be like when you meet someone you're really, like, you've been interested in, or if they're famous, you're like, it's nice to meet me, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, I've heard that so many times.
It just gets me because I could literally just make up a word right now and nobody would know what it means. Nobody would have any reaction to it. But if enough people agreed that it meant this offensive thing, then people would start getting all mad whenever I said it.
Yeah,
and that's stupid because it's just a noise. It's just a noise.
Exactly. It's a noise that we make with our mouth.
Chatuga.
Chatuga
means fuck face. That's not gonna catch.
That's not gonna
I
catch
like
on
it.
at all.
I like it.
Chatuga
It kind of
think of like Chatuga.
yes, it does. But it also
Now you're racist. Now you're racist.
Yeah.
it also sounds like Tortuga from Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Danny Trejo.
Oh god.
Fucking, we're trippy, man. Fucking, we fucking burn down villages. We fucking bomb nations just on fucking words. Yeah, differences.
They make different telepathy sounds through their mouths than we do.
Should I put on "We Are the World" right now? Or are we all gonna hold hands?
It's so fucking stupid.
City on fire.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
We
Exterminate.
didn't start the fire.
So back to Buck Angel. Do you think by the time that we do get the kind of perfect technology to make him a fully functioning penis, do you think insecure guys are going to start using that to increase their penis size? I mean, how many fucking guys?
Anything.
Oh my shit.
There's a Rogan bit about if there were dick pills, how long would it take for the first overdose?
To overdose.
Someone would be just dead in his car from the pharmacy, just bottled down his throat, just
Exactly.
There's that fucking South Park bit where they're having to carry their balls and fucking.
they're bouncing around like a hippie.
They're carrying in a wheelbarrow and shit. It's just that mentality. You wanna be like above everybody else.
Of course, it's the keeping up with the Joneses kind of mentality.
If the women are gonna get the boobs, then of course the guys are gonna get the same thing.
Yeah, and it's not really like it is keeping up with the Joneses thing, but I think it's because coming back to the whole idea of sexuality, especially sexuality in this country, where people tie that so much into their identity as a person and their worth as a person.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just like, oh, I have a big dick. No, it's like, oh, this dick defines me of who I am
because
and
society says
what I'm
so.
worth.
How many times have you seen those stupid Smiling Bob commercials years ago? And then all the other guys are like all insecure, and then all the girls are all, ooh.
Yeah,
Even though Bob was married, they can't wait to sit on Santa's lap.
Exactly.
Fucking whores.
Those are the fucking best.
There's
like
another
both at the same time, I think.
There's another documentary on Netflix called UnHung Hero, where it's a guy with who's actually he was in one of those videos that went viral where he proposes to his girlfriend at a football game or something, and all the cameras are on him and she turns him down like in front of everybody. So he's humiliated, and then later he finds out that she breaks up with him because he has a small dick. So he goes on this journey to try every different method possible to increase his size, and it's like you feel sad for the guy because of how insecure he is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
maybe it was that though. Maybe it was just his fucking insecurity of he wasn't really being a man, if that is correct to say.
Because if that's what defined the relationship, where she didn't want to spend the rest of, even though she was with him, but then that's the breaking point.
Maybe it's just his confidence.
I don't want to marry you because you got a small dick, even though I've been with you this entire time.
Why waste all that time? Like the first time you see it,
because she was a stupid bitch.
Waste all this time. The first time I fucking see it, I'm just like, nah, that's fine.
Oh shit!
But if she was in a long enough relationship with him to where he actually committed to proposing to her, I'm pretty sure that it was more than just him having a small dick that ruined the relationship for her.
Maybe she just wanted to hurt him.
She just tried to do a really cheap cop out, even though she was fucking his best friend or some shit like that.
Probably.
Or it was like I'm pretty sure that insecurity that he had over that carried over to other aspects of his life, and it was affecting the relationship.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think so.
It snowballed.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking just ruined his
thing that comes out of her mouth. You have a
no
small
pun
dick,
intended. That wasn't even a no pun intended. It was just a fucking cocksucker. Oh shit.
I like how you use cocksucker almost as much as I do
It's like
in my fucking everyday
I
life.
love saying it.
Holy shit! Like a girl at my work, she we'll fucking get into like mini fights and stuff like that, and she'll call me a pussy. Like that's where she crosses the line. She gets into man zone. I'm like, shut the fuck up, cocksucker. And she kind of looks at me like, what'd you call me?
No,
like,
I mainly use it when because I don't really talk at work. It's mostly in traffic. I'll use it at least twice daily because everyone drives like a piece of shit. The other day, I almost got hit by... Traffic was slowing down. A deal started breaking where you can hear the tires going...
Oh, yeah.
And then the diesel that it was towing, part of it fell off. And I hear... And just crashes right in front of me, but it fell at an angle. Otherwise, it would have just... That top part of it would have crashed right on top of me. And I hit the brakes in time, and I just froze. It kind of slid. I was just... What the fuck? Okay. I'm going to work. I don't want to call in late today. Fuck this. I just went to work in an adrenaline rush. Like, don't need 5-hour energy today.
What?
Holy shit.
Oh my god. On the freeway or just... Oh my god. How many cars were there? Were there a lot of cars on the freeway?
There was a lot of cars behind us.
Oh my god.
But then that
Holy
diesel
shit.
even stopped, put on his hazards, and I saw him in the rearview mirror get out, and he ran to go pick that shit up.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
That's fucking insane.
I don't care. I'm going to work. Going to work.
Minding my own business.
I saw nothing.
They're gonna be coming to your door.
I know.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, I need to ask you some questions.
We caught you on the traffic cams.
Right.
We have audio-less video of you.
It wasn't
going,
it wasn't even my
shit."
fault. Unless he actually hit my car, then I would have stopped
It's like,
and been like,
why
I
didn't
need-
you stop and get out of your car and take pictures like everybody else? Are you hiding something, sir? Come
No.
on, I need to talk to
What
you.
are you not a Twitter fan?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sir, we have you on the cameras. We're not saying you're involved in the wreck or anything. We're not saying you're responsible. We're just kind of concerned as to why you were masturbating at the time that it happened.
Probably were. Probably
Don't you
were.
fucking judge me!
And then it got a little bit more intense right after you saw it.
It's like, oh god damn it! Yes.
That's because I got mad and I had to take the bag off my head.
As soon as you realized your life was in danger, you came.
Shit,
It was like,
this
what?
This is escalating super fast.
Oh god, this just derailed. We just got really deep, and then I had to open my mouth about what happened to me, and it just went straight to a bag over my head. Oh Christ!
Great.
But I don't know. It's at 57, almost 58. What do you think?
Oh shit.
You guys got anything else you have in mind? Anything you want to ask us?
What is your general theme? Do you have a general theme? No?
We don't. We just...
No, but that's great.
We're pretty much anarchy.
Well, I think
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
great
love
though.
about
And I mean, I thought about it too. It's like your title is perfect for that. You're
That's
bored.
actually what I really, really love about you guys'
Yeah.
podcast. You know, like most people, when you hear, and I'm pretty sure you guys hear this all the time, like Joey Diaz's podcast and Adam Carolla's podcast. You know, you get listeners calling in like, "Oh, okay, I have a podcast. Can I plug it?" And Adam Carolla always shits on them because they always say the same thing, like, "Oh, it's a podcast about nothing," or "It's a podcast where we just rant and talk about stuff like that." And that sometimes I feel like that's how Mad Talk was, but I mean, you guys got it down to a science where it's fucking entertaining. It's always entertaining because you guys bring your own spin on it. And I truly, this is not me kissing ass, I truly feel like yours guys is different.
Oh, thanks,
So-
man.
We try.
Yeah, you don't need a theme, and it's working for you guys. And I don't
We
think
try
that's
and then
work
we
for
You
you.
can't say that about everybody.
It's not always entertaining though, because there are like about 3 lost episodes that we decided not to air that
3
were
or
just
4.
drunken, angry spoutings.
Oh shit.
Just angry hate.
But no, I mean, like we do try to keep it very, off kilter, very, just kind of random, whatever comes up.
Yeah, 'cause we do have the kind of minds that just go everywhere.
No, and I think that's good though because I think other people are the same way. The people
I got so many complaints on Mad Talk, like, "Oh, you guys, you're always talking about something else, and then you derail, and you need to stay on topic. You need to stay on topic. I'm like, then don't listen, you fucks.
I think a lot of people are very used to the TV radio show format where it has to follow a script and it has to follow.
A plot.
We have to cover. Yeah, we have to cover so much before the first commercial break, and then we gotta, cut to the weather, and then fucking.
Hell, I mean, that's what kind of inspired us. Dave turned me on to podcasts because Stanhope was on Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I listened to Rogan's podcast and with Stanhope and with Dane. And then I think I slowly got into Carolla and then Talking Shit. And what else? Until finally Dave and I would always just be talking on Facebook, just talking weird shit all the time. One of our friends saw it, and then she's like, "You guys are hilarious. You guys should do a podcast." And then Dave and I, we weren't like talking to one another, but I think we both had the same idea where we just message each other on Facebook, thinking maybe we should try it.
Yeah, like we kind of both had that aha moment where we're like, you know what? Yeah, we should fucking record this.
Yeah, if it was a movie, it would probably be a split screen of us like checking our phones at the text and be like, "Oh yeah."
And something that I also noticed too about you guys' podcast is that it does not feel forced at all. I know with Mad Talk, I was fucking trying so hard to keep on a strict schedule, strict co-host. You know, I had show notes. You know, I remember sending you guys the first show notes, and I'm like, you know, I was like trying to get everything down to a T, but it just didn't work out. You know, it just didn't work out because I just forced it way too much. And you guys may, you know, let out an episode every 6 months, but I feel like it's because you guys take your time with it. Yeah. That it's so good. I like it.
Kind of the way my creativity works. Sometimes I will go in a binge where I create different things. I'll paint a lot. I'll draw a lot. I'll start making music or writing lyrics, and then I'll go in a dry spell. If I try to force it, it just does not come out. If anything, I think that's what we both need. We always do. Is just it has to be natural. Yeah. And we're trying to get to a schedule, but at the same time, we're not being strict about it.
Yeah, there comes a point where like that rigidity kind of affects the podcast, because I know we've tried it with show notes before, and it doesn't always go as planned, because we'll have to stop to look at the paper and say like, okay, this is the next thing we got to talk about, and we always go off on tangents.
Especially with how emotional we all get with tangents and stuff like that.
We've done that before, where Dave and I have done a podcast, and then we look and we're almost at the end where we feel like it's an end, and we realize, oh shit, there's 2/3 of the show notes we haven't gone over at all.
Yep.
Well, remember when we did the show together? I felt like you did a great job. When I was a guest on one of his Mad Talk shows, that one was really fun. I think you're being a little bit too hard on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that episode. I remember that episode. It was kind of like what Josh said. I had about 2/3 of the questions that I didn't even get to ask, but it was already hitting like an hour.
Yeah.
And I had remembered with a bunch of my listeners saying, "Oh, cut it down to 30 minutes. Cut it down to 20 minutes. Your podcast is way too long. Nobody's going to listen to an hour-long podcast." But yet, these are people that have no idea what podcasts are. I was their first podcast that they've ever listened to of their life. Yeah. And I'm like, Jesus, you guys
I've never seen a podcast shorter than an hour, personally. Or maybe not shorter than 45 minutes.
I've seen a few, but those are varied.
I know when I first started listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, because that's the main one I listen to, and
they're always about 2 or 3 hours.
When I started listening to them, they were about an hour and a half, mostly, and even that was like gargantuan to me. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be listening to hour and a half shows all the fucking time.
Oh, it was perfect for me because I sit for 8 hours at work.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had the time and the ability to do that. A lot of people don't. They're on the go. They're going from place to place. They don't have the ability to just sit down for an hour and a half and listen to a podcast. But you just kind of adapt your schedule to your listening habits to it. I'll listen to it a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
And now with YouTube saving your position now, like holy shit.
I do that now because I've been YouTubing Opie and Anthony so much lately.
Yeah.
It's
perfect.
I think that's the key to it, is finding a medium or a device or an outlet that lets you save the place so you can come back to it. Yeah. Because you can't just listen to it like a CD.
Yeah, that's why I love it with the iPods where it stops it, and I love how YouTube's now stopping it when it last you listened. Yeah. Unless you switch devices, then okay.
I think it works if you switch devices as
well.
As
long as with my laptop and my phone.
But I think it's only the longer videos too that I've noticed.
I think so.
Because I'll listen to other podcasts, or I'll be watching someone play a game or whatever, and it's only the longer ones where it'll actually save my spot.
Oh. Do you guys edit your show at all?
If we do, he does it. I have a YouTube channel that I work on my own already as it is.
What is it? Plug it.
Oh, my YouTube channel is just Kelli Stauffer.
Nice.
How do you spell that?
KelliStauffer.
Cool.
And so do you guys, I'm sorry, Danny, do you edit the podcast at all? Like edit it down, cut out anything?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, well, we had some technical difficulties last time, I remember. And you cut them out, huh? Most of them?
Yeah. I mean, It's very scarcely. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty sure you guys go through this as podcasters as well. I fucking hate myself for saying I think,
like,
yeah,
fuck.
like fucking,
we still do.
fuck,
We still do
fucking, like,
it's just the diction that we've grown up in.
Especially at work too. I realize that when I talk to people, I'm like, hey, can you give me the fucking the fuck? And then girls mostly would be like, did you really have to say that? I'm like,
why?
Sorry. Like,
should I say cunt instead?
I should say that. It's like, can I have that shit? Or like, hey, do you need any more fucking? It was just fucking.
Fucking.
And I think like the laid back feel of our show kind of lends itself to that a little more. Also,
yeah, I agree.
You feel a little more relaxed, like you're just talking to people. So you throw in fuck every 5 words, and it
happens. Who cares? Really.
Apparently, it's bad etiquette. Apparently, and I mean, I hate myself for it. But I mean,
I don't think it is bad etiquette.
To say I
on
think.
This show.
Yeah, like I'm pretty foul mouthed, but I don't remember anybody like in my own age group or say at work or anything actually stopping me like, so you have to cuss so much. I don't think I've ever gotten that. But then again, it might just be the people I hang around with.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I remember you used to think when we first became friends that I was going to be offended by you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I give off this persona, or I guess vibe, that I'm like very proper and elegant and a lady, and everyone thinks that. Everyone.
I don't know if I ever got that when I first met you. I think it was for Nomi's birthday. I just remember I kept saying AIDS.
He's like, that's all I remember about meeting you, AIDS.
Well, because we were playing that. What was it?
Oh yes, the game where I don't know what it's called. What am I or whatever, and you stick the name or something on your forehead, and
I forgot. I think you got it.
Yes.
And then you're like, am I AIDS?
What? Oh shit.
I just almost fell in my chair laughing.
Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah.
That game is fun as
That was in Nomi's backyard.
Damn.
One of her birthday parties, I think.
Have you played that game she has on her PlayStation, where the Jackbox games? Have you played those? And you I don't know what they are. Not on the Xbox, on the PlayStation, or I don't know what I said. Whatever. It's fun, and you play from your phone. But what you can do is basically, it's kind of like a trivia thing. It'll ask a question, and each person playing has to submit a lie to try to fool all the other people. And then you have to choose the correct answer that the game put in as well. But of course, you can submit whatever you want, and we can pick whatever username
Never
we
heard
want.
of it.
So I think some of us were like butt sex, some of us were like titty fuck, and some of us were
Titty
like
fuck.
I was titty fuck, by the way.
Oh shit! Hello.
And some of us were like all different things, and then there's another one where you can draw, and everyone was drawing vaginas, boobs, and tits.
Oh god.
And all this
like that.
everywhere.
I think if I played that game, they might have been like, that one's Josh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Really fun. It's really fun.
I like how Danny's voice dropped like 2 octaves when he said titty fuck. It's like, titty fuck.
Titty fuck.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
This is the quiet storm.
Oh shit!
Like
All right.
Now we're talking.
DJ. Yeah.
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 Okay, there's no way it'll be that perfect again.
No.
Twice in one show. That's it. I think we're done.
We're done.
But honestly, thank you guys so much for coming, and also thank Dave for
Yeah.
asking you guys to be
Yes,
part of this.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
This was awesome. I
seriously.
literally was so
He's-
excited.
He's honestly been doing the best he can to promote this show. I've been busy with so much that I've kind of not really feigned off, but I haven't been giving as much attention because I got so many different projects I'm working on.
That's why I'm so thankful for Danny, because he literally takes care of all of this stuff for the show while I'm doing my page and my YouTube and my all this, and then I'm a college student, and I'm just like, Danny, you are awesome.
Well, I mean, we're glad to have you, and again,
Yeah,
we're
thank
all, I'm a fan of the show. I've listened to all your episodes so far, and I really like what you
thank
guys are
you.
doing. I think it has a lot of promise, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys grow.
Yes, thank you. I'm
Definitely,
really excited.
likewise.
We need to record pretty soon too.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you said you have another episode coming out soon, or
Yeah. They always come out on Wednesday, so
oh, cool.
Wednesday.
Are you trying to keep it like weekly or just like whenever?
Bi-weekly.
Bi-curious
First-
weekly?
at
I don't
first-
think bi-weekly is
Bi-weekly. Bi-weekly is too much?
that's
Yeah.
twice a week, right?
No.
Every
No.
2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Okay. I was like, is that twice a week or
Yeah, I
every
only
2
know
weeks?
Yeah.
bi-weekly because...
No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
No, I think that's good because it gives them a chance to catch up.
Yeah, I fucked up and I released an episode that we were saving in a can like a week afterwards when I was saving it for bi-weekly. Mm-hmm. And so now I hope our listeners
I didn't know that was an accident.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah.
You were just
I was like,
God, now she quits.
I was like, I
tell me,
didn't.
Danny. God
I was
damn
like,
it.
my time span here
I
is it been too
thought it
much?
was totally
stabbing
on purpose.
sounds.
And then he didn't like advertise it or anything. I'm like, why isn't he posting it on the Facebook page?
Yeah,
I was
I just
like, what's going on?
I got excited.
Well, that's kind of what we're aiming for here. Is like now that we're kind of in the rhythm of
least
things and we're
monthly.
getting
Yeah.
No, that's great.
That would be good.
Trying to do it like at
That'd
least
be good.
monthly, hopefully bi-weekly, maybe bi-curious weekly. You know.
Yeah, we just gotta do something with that space with that the biggest podcast that we did. That was almost 2 hours. I think that's taking up the most.
Which one?
I'd have to look on the Podbean site.
Oh yeah.
Are
yeah.
we running out of
Podbean.
space already?
Well, from what I remember, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
after.
that's all technical
Yeah.
and shop talk. But
Yeah, fuck it.
but yeah, I mean, we'd love to have you guys back. We'll keep updated on your side and just like plug all your stuff, your Twitter, your Facebook, all your stuff, whatever you guys want to put out there.
She already said her YouTube, but if you want, go ahead and say it again.
Oh yeah, my YouTube. I'm assuming it's just Kelli Stauffer, KelliStauffer. Twitter is @CottonCandyPlip, and my Facebook page is facebook.com/CottonCandyBabe El Paso.
Cool, and Dan?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Coffee Stimpack, as well as the show's Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Hypothetical Therapy. And that's it, I believe.
Okay, and your Twitter was the Coffee Stimpack, and that's Stimpack like from Fallout?
Yeah, from
From
the Fallout
StarCraft,
series.
actually.
Oh, okay.
StarCraft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool, well, it's in Fallout too. Also.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that's what I
nice.
thought right away.
Oh shit.
Just because
you
my
learned
brother
something.
plays it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But thank
Well,
you
yeah.
guys so
Thanks,
much
guys.
for being on
Seriously,
this
Yeah,
show.
I had
it
so
was
much
fun.
fun. I was
Yeah,
telling
it's a lot of
Kelly
fun.
like for the past 2 days, I was like, I'm so excited.
Awesome.
We're fucking
Yeah,
do
we
this show
might
finally.
have to do this again, maybe this year sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
for sure.
Definitely.
Or
All
we'll be
Yeah.
on your show. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yes.
right, well, that's it for us.
All right,
And
that's it.
thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys hopefully in 2 weeks. Definitely not later than 4.
Whenever, fuck the math.
Fuck it. Revolution of the Board is brought to you by Morfiend and The Dave, recorded and produced in El Paso, Texas. Find this and other episodes on revolutionoftheboard.podbean.com, iTunes, or our YouTube channel, as well as important links, updates, and general bullshit on our Facebook fan page and on Twitter @ROTB Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share, as it helps us gain visibility and spread the show like the ass cancer of a podcast it is. Till next time, fuckers.
Vomir.